I said, does it ring? He said, yes. He said, that is the sound of one hand clapping. Very simple. And it brought him down to earth, just like it brought down the other Buddhists down to earth. You know, yes, it is an illusion, but we are living in it. And it is a virtual reality. This is a virtual reality, and no virtual reality can exist without an IT person who designed it. So in the same way, the whole world is nothing but a virtual reality where people take forms and personalities. I remember my son, he was so good at Doom. I don't know if you know Doom. Doom, famous computer play. This is now back 30 years ago. And he was so good at it that he had friends all over the world, and he would trade on eBay his weapons that he acquired within the computer game. He was completely into it. I thought he's hopeless. He never gets out of that. You know, I was sometimes thinking of going there with an axe and smash a screen. You know, and I asked him, where are you here? And some dinosaur came out, and he was sitting, you know, on top of the dinosaur in some sort of a crocodilian outfit. And it's all illusion, one click. So in the same with the whole material world, it just takes one click of Krishna's mouse. One click of Krishna's mouse. And the whole thing is gone. As much as one click on your computer screen is, the whole game is over. From one moment to another, you know. So if there's no knowledge, then people cannot understand what happens when I die. If you have knowledge, then wherever the yam yama pismaram bhavam tyajati antakalevanam, wherever the mind is at the time of death, there you go. As a person puts new garment and rejecting the old one, in the same way the soul takes a variety of bodies, life after life. Everything is very clear if you have knowledge. If you read Bhagavad Gita, yes. Now, Jains know this, Buddhists know this. There's some sense of Buddhism knows this, because some sense they have, because they know something is traveling and they think it is the mind. But we know it's not the mind, it's the soul that travels. And in all ancient religions, the concept is there. And in fact, thousands and thousands of Christians died being killed by Christians because they believed in vegetarianism and reincarnation. Thousands. I mean, a whole countryside was depleted of humanity. They were eradicated systematically by Christians in the 12th century for their faith in reincarnation and vegetarianism. And that was probably the highest level I've seen of Christianity ever practiced. These people were austere, they didn't have any belongings, they shared everything they had, etc. You know, I mean, this was beautiful. And if you ever go to, there was this castle, it's called Montsegur, where the last of them fled altogether. It looks like a Shiva Linga, this mountain, from long distance. And you can only go up a very small treadway. Only one person can go. And it's easy to defend in this way, very easy to defend. So they were surrounded by the papal troops, the troops of the Pope. And they said, we never let you out. We can come upstairs, but you won't get any food. You won't get any food, you won't get any water. So your position is hopeless. What are you waiting for? Come now. So they decided, yes, this is a good idea. Why waiting? And they were dressed in white, and they were holding hands and singing God's glories while coming down the spiral. And when they reached the top, there was a long ladder, not just this small, a long ladder, something like 100 meters wide, of sticks. And they climbed the sticks and jumped into the fire. That was the end of it. And then if you go there, I've been there twice, there's a kind of altar made out of stone. And there are always some flowers. always. Somebody, because the locals still, they live in this tradition, they still remember their ancestors. And it says, pour Dieu qui mort pour l'amour du Dieu. For those who have died for the love of God. It says, beautiful. For those who died for the love of God. So if there is no knowledge, then we cannot understand. If we deny the pre-existence of the soul, we cannot understand. We are in ignorance. How do you get out of ignorance? Krishna Suesama, Maya Andakara. Krishna is like sunshine, Maya is in darkness. Wherever there is sunshine, there is no question of darkness. Haribol. Wake up, spirit soul. Just take to hear it, listen to Krishna. Just buy a Bhagavad Gita. You know, right now you're a fool. You live foolish life. All you need to do is open your heart, open your mind, get out of your box. Like people think in a box, right? Think out of the box. You know, become real. Enter a life which is based on reality. The reality of the soul. And the ultimate reality is, what is that reality of the soul? Like Lord Chaitanya says, the soul is an eternal servant of Krishna. That is the actual reality. Everything is hocus pocus. Hocus, you know the word hocus pocus? Hocus pocus? Nobody knows? It means it is, how do you say, it is nonsense. Nonsense. When the priest in the church, when he lifts up the bread, offering it, it's an offering, it's called the offering. Then he says, this is the body of Christ, this is the body of Jesus. There is some truth in it, because when Krishna accepts prasadam, then the substance changes. It's not anymore bhoga, it's prasadam, it's spiritual food, right? There is some truth in it. But when we eat, we don't eat the body of Krishna. Right? We don't eat Krishna's body. We don't have any Rakshasa eat intentions when we eat prasadam, right? But there is some truth in it. So the people in the back of the church, because all this was done in Latin, all the ceremonies, hoc est corpus Christi, the people in the back, they were simple peasants, like workers, and heard this hoc est corpus Christi, and they came to the conclusion, hocus pocus. It is when he's doing his hocus pocus, that means his miraculous thing that we don't understand, hocus pocus. And it was hocus pocus. The people were right, you know, because it is not that the substance changes in terms of the body, but the substance changes according to its constituent, either in the material world or spiritual world. So everything comes down to knowledge, and without knowledge, we cannot understand anything about our existence. We cannot. If you don't know who you are, that's the first step before you begin going out into the world. You cannot understand what your needs are, right? You cannot understand what your needs are. You think to be something which you are not. And that's a very difficult situation. And that's a situation of 99% of humanity. They may go to church, they may go to the synagogue, they may go to the mosque, but still, unless they understand who am I, they're walking like hamsters. You know what a hamster is? Hamster is a little glorified rat. It looks very beautiful, it's yellow and has no tail. And it runs in a wheel. We have some in Europe, you know, every kid has a hamster, a little rat, you know. And it's beautiful, beautiful face and white cheeks and bristles and everything very clear, not ugly. But it runs to keep it fit. You give him a treadmill, like you give a treadmill in modern Indian's life. give him a little treadmill, so he runs in this wheel, and he thinks he's advancing. Yes, I'm advancing, I'm running. But he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere, because he's in a wheel. In the same way, material life means being a treadmill. You think you're advancing, but you don't make one step of progress. You don't make progress. That's material life. It is not productive, it is not progressive. Material life is not progressive at all. In fact, it gets you deeper and deeper entangled in material nature. Like running after, Prabhupada said, deer is running in the desert after a mirage, which is just a reflection of a real water somewhere else. That's what it is. So the whole world is a mirage, a reflection of the spiritual world which is somewhere else. So on a higher level of consciousness. So let me go back to the verse for a moment. So if we are in the material world, then we simply experience suffering. Prabhupada, this whole chapter is about this. We are not the body, we are the spirit. So in the spiritual world, our sense gratification is based on Krishna consciousness. Yes, we are enjoying also, like when some big man invites you for a meal. Practically speaking, you eat the same food like he, right? But it's not your food, he's giving it, right? So there's enjoyment there in the association of the gopis. The gopis were, one gopi died when she was deprived of the association of Krishna. We cannot imagine. Prabhupada said, heavenly planets, thousands of times the enjoyment on earth. And the spiritual world is just indescribable. So my time is up. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions, possible? Question 1, 2, or is it too late? Then, thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Lord Premananda Haribol.